Hello everybody and welcome back to Zara's Storybook. But today, before we read the book of the day, I have something new to show you. Ta-da! You can see all these designs and flowers on my hand. That is called henna because it's an Indian and Bangladeshi culture. People, well, mostly girls or women, wear these for weddings, Ramadans or Eid or any other festivals or celebrations. People usually wear this, and today I've got another new thing to show you. Behold, we have a new book and it's called Little Lunch. You know, it's even in a movie. And also, you want to see how this new book goes? I'm so excited, and let's read this. Little Lunch, The Bubblers. Written by Danny Carr and illustrated by Mitch Vane. Under the tree near the oval, Max and Elsa are twins, and they look exactly the same. They have the same hair, the same eyes, and the same nose, and the same long, sticky green snot that comes out of their nose. The only difference between Max and Elsa is that Max is a boy and Elsa is a girl. But it's still hard to know which one is which because both of them use the boys' toilet. It was Max and Elsa's birthday. They were very excited because Miss Goncha had planned a special treat for them. It wasn't time for little lunch. Miss Goncha took a whole class out to sit under a tree near the oval, and they had a birthday party. Everyone sat around Max and Elsa and asked a lot of questions. How did they become twins? Amber said. So did you both come out of the same mummy? And Max said, yes, we did. And Amber went, oh, and Dipper Joe Woo said, so you're both born at the same time. And Elsa said, yes. And Dipper Joe Woo went, wow. And Batty said, if you both came from the same mummy and you were both born at the same time, how could you both fit in your mummy's belly button? Everyone went, ha ha ha, because that was the funniest thing they heard in a long time. Miss Goncha brought out some yummy birthday treats for the party, and she brought a sliced fruit on the plate and corn chips in a bowl and a beautiful birthday cake. Miss Goncha baked it herself. It was called a pavlova. Miss Goncha said her pavlovas were the best in the whole world. It was a big and white, and it had sparklers all over it. Jamara Noodle wanted to see what would happen if she touched one of the sparklers, so she touched it and it burned her finger. Everybody laughed, and then Miss Goncha took Jamara Noodle to the first aid room to get her finger fixed. While Miss Goncha and Jamara were gone, the kids looked at the pavlova. It had cream in the middle and strawberries on top and bananas around the edges. Maddie couldn't wait any longer. He stuck his finger into the cake and got a big blob of pavlova stuck into his mouth. He blinked his eyes and turned bright again, and he yelled, "Ew!" and spat the pavlova into Batty's new shoes. Manny sat down. "Don't eat the pavlova. It's really bad. It's horrible. It's disgusting." Everyone immediately stuck their fingers into the pavlova and had a taste. Amber blinked her eyes and turned red and yelled, "Ew! The cream tastes like soap." Dipper Jo blinked her eyes and turned bright again. "Ew! The strawberry tastes like silly socks." Max and Elsa blinked their eyes and turned bright red. "Ew! The bananas taste like vomit." All the kids had a taste, everyone except Batty. He was too busy scraping the pavlova of his brand new shoes. With the corn chip. They all agreed that Miss Concha's pavlova was the worst in the world. Then they saw Miss Concha coming back from the first aid room with Tamara Noodle. They knew they had to get rid of the pavlova or else Miss Concha would make them eat it. So they started grabbing blobs of pavlova and hiding it everywhere they could. Atticus hid the pavlova in a hole in a tree, and Melanie hid the pavlova in the middle of the bushes. Max and Elsa hid the pavlova in their pockets of their shorts. Then Miss Concha came and said, "Hey kids, where has all the pavlova gone?" And Manny said, "Sorry, Miss Concha, but we had a little taste and it was so good. It was so delicious. We couldn't stop eating it, so we ate it all up." Miss Concha wasn't angry at all, and she said, "I'm so glad you loved my pavlova. I've got good news for you. Max and Elsa are twins, so I made 2 pavlovas exactly the same." She brought out another pavlova with cream and strawberries and bananas. That tasted like vomit. And now, here's the next story. It's called The Lost and Found Box. Atticus Busby was doing a very strange trick. He was standing on his head in the middle of the playground and trying to spin around. He saw some people doing on the TV. He thought it might be an easy thing to do because it was just like spinning around on your feet but upside down. Except when Atticus tried to spin on his head, it really didn't work. He only managed to get half a spin before his glasses went flying off. The glasses went up the air and leaded far away to the other side of the playground. Atticus couldn't see anything without his glasses, so he really needed to find them. But it's very hard to look for your glasses if you haven't got your glasses. He started crawling around on the ground, using his hands to feel. He could feel something bendy that might be his glasses, but it was just a paddle pop stick with ice cream on it. Then he felt something long and hard. That might be his glasses. No, it was just a broken pen coming out, with ink coming out. Then he felt something skinny and little. That might be his glasses, but it was Batty's skinny leg. Batty said, "What are you doing, Atticus?" And Atticus said, "I've lost my glasses. I can't find them. Can you help me find them?" So Batty got down on his hands and knees and helped look for the glasses. And Tamara Noodle came along to help them too. So did Dipper Joe Woo. Nobody could find the glasses anywhere, so they decided to look at the lost and found box to see if it had handed it back. The lost and found box was a big box near the front door of the school. If you lost something, you could always find it there. The box was full of jackets, bags, hats, and umbrellas. Atticus reached deep and to see his glasses were in there. First he pulled out a red lunchbox. Manny said, "Hey guys, that's my old lunchbox. I lost it last week." Then he looked inside and saw an old sandwich. Green. It had green, furry, moldy stuff on it. Manny said, "That's my sandwich. I forgot to eat it." So I took a bite of that sandwich and walked away happily. Atticus reached into the lost and found box again. This time he pulled out a dirty blue handkerchief that was covered in snow. Tamara Noodle said, "Hang on a sec. My handkerchief. That's my handkerchief. I haven't seen it for ages." She took her handkerchief and blew her nose with it. Like that. Then she said, "Actually, I don't think it's my handkerchief. My handkerchief was red." So she dropped the handkerchief back in the box and walked away. Only Atticus and Dipper Joe Woo were left. Atticus reached into the lost and found box again and pulled out a coloring book with all about fairies. And Dipper Joe Woo said, "Hooray! I found my fairy coloring book. I didn't know it was there." Then she took the book and opened it up and screamed, "Look at this! Someone has drawn rude things all over my fairies." And it was true. Someone had scribbled mustaches on the fairies. And they put beards on the fairies. And they'd drawn a great big boobies on the fairies. So Dipper Joe Woo took her coloring book and ran away crying. Now Atticus was all alone. At the lost and found box, he looked through the whole box. He still hadn't found his glasses. Mrs. Goncha came and walked up holding something in her hand. She said, "Atticus, are you looking for this?" And Atticus said, "What are those?" because he couldn't see what he was holding. Miss Goncha said, "They're your glasses, Atticus. I found them in the playground. Atticus said, "Oh, thank you, Miss Concha, thank you." And putting his glasses on, he could see everything clearly again. He could even see the yellow sun hat sitting on top of the lost and found box. His little yellow sun hat that he had lost last year when he was trying to do a double backwards somersault trick in the playground. So she put his yellow sun hat on and walked away with a big smile. Now here's the last story. It's called The Bubblers. Hot. It was hot. It was hot. It was a hot, hot day. Too hot to play in the playground. All the kids sat down beside the bubbler at Little Lunch, and Rory kept cool by filling his mouth with water and spraying them through the gaps in his teeth. Everybody loved getting sprayed by water, except for Batty. He also got a bit of toast that was stuck in Rory's teeth from breakfast. It was too hot to move, too hot to eat, too hot for a disgusting joke competition. Amber went first and she said, "Okay guys, I've got a disgusting joke. Invisible and it smells like carrots." Everyone said, "What?" Amber said, "Bunny farts," and everyone laughed because Amber said the word farts. And farts was a very funny word. Manny said he knew even a disgustinger joke. He said, "Hey everyone, what's brown and taps at the window?" Everyone said, "What?" Then Manny said, "A poo on slits," and everyone laughed louder because Manny said the word poo, and poo was a lot funnier than farts. Everyone had a disgusting joke to tell. Dipper Jo Woo had one, so she said, "How can you make a hanky dance?" Everyone said, "How?" Dipper Jo Woo said, "Put your little boogie in it." Max and Elsa told a joke that said, What did the bum say to the other bum?" Everyone said, "What?" "Would you like to poop over sometime?" Even Atticus Busby had a joke. He said, "Hey everyone, why did the sand run away?" And everyone said, "Why?" And Atticus said, "Because the sand weed. Get it? The seaweed." Like it did a wee. The sea did a wee. Seaweed. Get it? But nobody laughed because they couldn't work out what was so funny about seaweed. Tamara told her disgusting joke. "What kind of monster sits on the end of your finger?" And everyone said, "What?" "A boogery man." And Batty told his disgusting joke. "How many cowboys does it take to change a light bulb?" And everyone said, "How many?" "None, because they all shot each other and their head blood came out and they died, but only the boys laughed because it was a boy kind of joke." Not really a girl kind of joke. Rory told a disgusting joke. What? Well, it wasn't a really funny joke. It was just some funny words. He stopped spraying water about 5 seconds and yelled, "Big hairy bums!" And everyone laughed. And he started spraying water again. Bums. Every kid told a joke, except for Melanie. She was shy, and she didn't want to tell a joke. Amber said, "Come on, Melanie, you tell a joke too." And Melanie said, "I don't know what. I don't want to. And Atticus said, "Come on, Melanie, it'll be fun." And Melanie said, I don't know any jokes. And Max and Elsa said, "Come on, Melanie, everybody knows a joke." So Melanie took a big deep breath and said, "Knock, knock." But she also said quietly, nobody could hear her, so she had to say it again, but a lot louder. She said, "Knock, knock." And everyone said, "Who's there?" And Melanie said, "I did up." And everyone said, "I did up." And everyone said, "I did up who?" And Melanie said, "That's it. I did up. That's the joke. I did up who?" Nobody laughed at first, but because nobody could understand about funny, I did up who? She was very smart and understood the joke. She said, "I did up who? I did up who?" Then Atticus started laughing because he was smart too. "Yeah, I get it. I did up who? I did up who?" And then Max and Elsa started to laugh, and Dipper Joe laughed, then Tamara Noodle, then Batty, then Manny, then all of them were laughing, screaming out, "I did a poo! I did a poo!" Then Rory started laughing, even though he didn't really get it, but everyone else was laughing, so it must have been funny. Melanie was so happy now because she'd won the disgusting joke competition. She saw Miss Concha walking past and said, "Hey, Miss Concha, knock, knock." And Miss Concha said, "Who's there?" And Melanie said, "I did up." And Miss Concha said, "I did up who?" Melanie said, "Ha ha, Melanie said, "Ha ha, you said I did a poo. Mrs. Concha, you did a big fat smelly poo." Melanie had to go in the principal's office and sit in the corner for half an hour. And that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed this new book today. And if you want to listen to more of my stories, please hit the huge like and subscribe button. See you!